What's up, Canuck fans? Welcome to the Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast, a proud presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, as well as a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, every team, everywhere. Breaking news, well, not breaking, as this happened this morning. Kiefer Sherwood has officially been traded to the San Jose Sharks for 2 second-round picks, as well as a defensive prospect. Well, Rick Dollywell called it. I'm not going to take the credit for it. I just simply reiterated what Dolly said. Although I did say on Saturday that I thought he would be traded yesterday. So, okay, maybe I'm a day off on that. But he did say keep an eye on the San Jose Sharks when it comes to a Kiefer Sherwood trade, and it happened. This is obviously not my instant reaction, but my reaction to the trade. A little late, I know, but I was still sleeping when the trade actually went through. So I'm a little bit late to the party. Obviously, we all knew Sherwood was going to be dealt. It was a foregone conclusion at this point, but I must admit that I'm a little underwhelmed with the return. I like the 2 second-round picks, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little underwhelmed by the prospect we got back, and that's just me. I was hoping for, Philip Bystad or one of the forwards that we talked about in our Sherwood trade watch video. But hey, I'm not a scout or a GM, nor do I claim to be. So maybe Albion and the scouts see something in Cole Clayton that I don't, at least not right now. He has been labeled as a journeyman defenseman who has not played in the NHL yet. He's been a WHL/AHL journeyman. So let's bring up the trade and take a look at it just so you guys can all see. As you can see there, San Jose receives Kiefer Sherwood. The Vancouver Canucks receive defenseman Cole Clayton, a 2026 second-round pick, as well as a 2027 second-round pick. So a second-round pick for this upcoming draft, as well as next year's draft. Obviously, the Canucks' price was a first-round pick. That is what they wanted, as well as a prospect. And obviously, they came to the realization that they weren't going to get it. Teams weren't biting, no pun intended. They weren't buying. They weren't biting. They weren't taking the bait. So the Canucks had to pivot. They had to, lower the price a little bit, and they were able to get Cole Clayton and 2 second-round picks. Let's take a look at the actual trade. Or here we have something from Canucks News Summaries, Corey from Canucks Army, where he summarizes the trade. Sherwood was a great addition to the team for the last 2 seasons, had been trying to work on an extension since the summer, weren't comfortable with the term being asked. We're looking to, and this is, I believe, coming from Alvin, we're looking to accumulate more draft capital for the rebuild, wanted to respect his family situation and get a trade done sooner, weren't going to sit and wait for something else. Is not sure if any team yet is giving up a 2026 first-round pick, describes them as valuable. Sharks are taking on some risk with his injury, although he should be back relatively soon. We also talk about the next stage of the rebuild. Does expect more trades, imagines more transactions coming. Definitely need to keep some players around. Struggles on the ice. The lineup changes due to injuries has messed with the chemistry. Doesn't want to use excuses as the job is on everyone to perform better. I believe that is from Adam Foote. Thatcher Demko. We got a little bit of an update on Thatcher Demko. Somewhat, I guess. He's still getting evaluated and tested. We'll provide an update on his status when they can give one. Are getting multiple opinions around the world to see what needs to be done. We'll know more by the end of the week. Let's move more into the actual Sherwood trade. Vancouver Canucks have traded Kiefer Sherwood to the San Jose Sharks for defenseman Cole Clayton and 2 second-round picks. The club announced the trade Monday morning. The picks coming back to the Canucks are San Jose's 2026 and 2027 second-round picks. Clayton, a 25-year-old right-shot defenseman from Strathmore, Alberta, so he's a Canadian, has yet to play an NHL game and will report to the Abbotsford Canucks. This is, of course, Patrick Alvin. We would like to thank Kiefer for all his hard work and dedication in Vancouver, said Patrick said GM Patrick Ovien in a statement put out by the team. As an organization, we take a lot of pride in giving him the opportunity to grow and excel as a player. Given where things currently stand and the direction of our rebuild, we felt it was necessary to make a move like this as we continue to build our pipeline. In addition to adding 2 draft picks, Cole is a right-shot defenseman who will report to Abbotsford. Sherwood's name has been in trade rumors for most of the season, in particular since November, when the Canucks made it clear to the other 31 NHL teams that they were willing to listen to trade offers for their veteran players. A report from Rick Dollywall over the weekend stated that the Sharks were a team to watch when it came to trading for Sherwood, who is set to become a UFA this offseason, given Sherwood's career best 24-25 campaign and his even better start to 25-26. Despite the team around him struggling mightily, it always made sense for the rebuilding Canucks to sell high on Sherwood. After putting up 19 goals last season, Sherwood is already at 17 through 44 games this season. Sherwood originally signed with the Canucks in the 24 offseason, signing a 2-year deal with a $1.5 million AAV. The Canucks' rumored ask was for a first-round pick, but obviously they felt like they were getting similar value with 2 of San Jose's second-round picks, which could very easily end up in the top 50 of the draft. So, I actually want to bring something up here. I actually want us to listen to Sherwood's comments, as he did speak right after this trade went through. And I just want you guys to hear his thoughts himself. I thought it was really great to hear what he had to say. And then we'll keep discussing it. Actually, let's hear from Adam Foote first. Hopefully this works.
Sorry for moving on to San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, it's, love the guy, love his play, how he brings it every night. And, we're going to miss a guy like that. You never want to see that happen. You want to keep all the good ones. And it's the business side of it. And, I just wish him the best. I really enjoyed being around him, coaching him.
What sort of opportunity does that create for some of the younger guys down your lineup to maybe try and fill his shoes to a certain extent?
Yeah, I mean, for sure it does. That gives an opening for sure for someone. You've seen Carly really bring it lately too, so that's definitely part of it.
A guy like Kiefer was a late bloomer. He said it himself. You've been here around for a couple of years. Like, what allowed him to become the player he became here?
Well, just he kept believing in himself. I know Dan Heino helped him a lot in Nashville. Keep pushing. It's a great story for young people in all of sports, or not just sports, but business. Their life. Keep chasing their goal. And he's still a young guy as far as 30 years old, and he takes care of himself. He's going to bring a lot of good years to San Jose or wherever he ends up landing. With that contract he'll get, but. He's a guy that helps build culture, and we're proud to bring him here. And I knew Dan and I are friends, and knew where he was coming from and how he had to play with that high energy and emotion to make it. And then he did a great job this year learning when to control it. And guys like that, you don't want them to control it completely, because it's part of what makes them special. And you have to live with, if there's maybe a bad penalty here and there from emotion, that's okay. And I just love the way he brought it every night. And, it's nice to see him going to land something, later part of his career.
What about that dynamic? Like he said in the offseason, I need to get stronger. My skating needs to get better. My shot needs to get better. I need to do more off the rush, and I got to stay out of the box. To have somebody actually realize that at that age and actually do it. I mean, how much are you enamored by that commitment?
Well, that's just, you have to continue to grow. It doesn't matter what age you are, and recognize what you can work on, but also keep working on your strengths. And he always worked at his game, and he played at a high level with pace, worked on his shot. You saw a few, all of that. And, there's one thing he always says to me, just say goodbye to me, is the emotional part. And I'm like, buddy, you did good. I mean, it's okay if you it went sideways here and there. That's what makes you good. So, but it was nice to see him control that as well as the season went on.
How much do you think this trade will affect your hockey team? You mentioned the culture that he brought.
Yeah.
You mentioned his effort night in and night out. You're losing that. Does it give this team a spark? Does it help get you out of where you are right now?
Well, I don't think what you're asking me is going to do something right now, like this week or next week, how it's going to affect us. It's for this is a long haul thing as far as what he may get in his contract and what he may not, and where we're going and when we'll be ready for a push. So there's so many things that are out of my my role for me to answer that correctly. I'm a coach, and I want all the good ones, and I want them all to stay. But there's reasons why it doesn't happen, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about that.
Okay, let's talk about business at hand. Who's closer returning for you, Teddy Bluger, Heedle, and can you give us an update on Thatcher Demko?
I can't give you an update on Demko yet. They're still evaluating, getting seeing some different people on that, and I'll find out here about Bluger if he's ready coming in today or before the skate today. I'm thinking more Wednesday, but we'll see in a minute. And hopefully Heedle's at the end of the week.
Goaltending, and what was behind the decision to flip the AHL guys?
Games, I think you told some games, and coming up to the Olympic break too. Get one guy's going to be up here with us, right? And what'd you ask me? Who's going tonight? Yeah, Lynx. Sorry. Yeah.
He's feeling better.
Yeah, he's feeling better. Yesterday he was still a little bit under, but way better than the day before. So.
All right, there we go. We have, but let's hear from the man himself, Chief.
Was obviously a little caught off guard. It just was bag skating. So then I got off and was told, obviously. So just first and foremost, I'm really thankful for everything that the city and this organization has given me. And I know they say you earn it, but you got to have the opportunity. And, as a guy that has been a late bloomer, it's everything I could have hoped for and more. And this is really a special place to play. And I think that's the hard part at times about the business is you get attached to certain, cities and communities. And I feel like this city and place to play in this organization, they do things the right way. They really live and breathe hockey. And I think that's why that passion has been it's been a mutual respect and appreciation. And I've said that, I wish obviously nothing but the best for this organization moving forward. And I know no matter what people feel, like the organization is going to benefit from this with the picks and whatnot. So I'm just really grateful for everything and couldn't have asked for, more coming into this. And, so when I just told Patrick and Jim that, I wanted nothing more signing here than to make the playoffs, and I know the city, how much it means to them and craves it. And, the playoffs are a special time for every city and team, but it's different here. And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And sometimes you just got to trust the process as a player. And, I think it's the other part of it too is, there's so many great connections in the locker room. And I think that's the hard part is I have so many brothers for life and so many great guys that I'm going to miss. So I would never, ever close any doors in life, but I'm just grateful for everything. And I wish nothing but the best for the people in the city of Vancouver.
You allude to your individual success while you've been here. Is it frustrating that it didn't come with more team success?
There's, as a competitor, you always get frustrated after every loss, so of course there's frustration, but that's life. There's things that you have to control, and there's so many things that happen outside of our control, and the things that we were dealt as a team and the adversity of the past 2 years that are out of our control, and sometimes it's not what happens, but it's how you respond. And I think that's a big, lesson that the organization's moving forward for. And, I know that they're in a better spot, hopefully, now than they were, when I came in. So, I'm really grateful and appreciative, and just want to tell everyone that I really love my time here and wish them the best moving forward.
Once Quinn was traded, did this day feel inevitable to you a little bit?
No, I mean, everyone's path's a little different, you know, and everyone's, I mean, he's a special player, obviously, and he did a lot for the city. I think the direction the team, you know, took a turn, and you know that they're doing what's best for them. So, you know, business is business at the end of the day, and I think that's sometimes the hard part about it, about what we do. But, you know, I think obviously if he's not going to re-sign here and stuff, then the team has to do what's best for them. And I don't know. I think it's a little separate. You know, I didn't really think too much about it, but you know, Quinn's always a friend for life, and obviously he did a lot for the city too.
The Sharks are here next week. Are you going to be healthy enough to?
I don't know. I think I need to make sure this is right, and we'll see.
How about the opportunity to go and play with some of the young, talented players they have down there in San Jose?
Yeah, I mean that's the, you know, sometimes you know, their rebuild has probably happened quicker than they thought, and I know they have some special players coming up in their system. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. But I'm just trying to be in the present right now and process everything, and I'm looking forward to obviously the new start, but also just want to say how grateful I am here.
You're speaking with a lot of emotion here. This place seemed to be a real good fit for you. The way that you played, the way that you blossomed, the way that the fans responded to you. A lot of people would want to jump from a sinking ship. Sounds like this trade has affected you a little bit because this city and the people here and this organization has meant a lot to you. Am I right with that?
Yeah, I mean, I there was definitely an attachment to the city, and you know, I think the hard part is, you know, the person, the player, sometimes, you know, separate, right? Like, so as a person, you know, I have nothing but great memories, and something that, you know, me and my wife are expecting, and gonna be telling her about, you know, our daughter, about all the great times that we had here, and showing her some great memories, and just yeah, you know, I just leave with, I guess, my head held high and nothing but just appreciative.
How hard is it going to be to tour that room after the guys get off the ice and visit with everyone? It's an opportunity not a lot of people get sometimes.
Yeah,
What's
I was.
that going to be like?
Well, it's a little different setup with an optional skate today. So I saw some of the guys, and I guess that's when it started to sink in a little bit, just giving everyone hugs. And, you know, there's, like I said, a lot of special guys in there. And I think when you spend more time with the team, you get closer to certain guys and make really relationships for life. So I just want what's best for them and keep in touch, and, you know, hopefully would love to help them in any type of way I can moving forward.
And I know you've been living on edge a little bit the last couple of months. Is there's a degree of relief or clarity that at least you know how this season's going to go, the rest of it, and then you can make a decision?
Well, yeah, and, you know, the other part of it too is, you know, I think Jim and Patrick were mindful of, you know, obviously we're expecting at the end of April, so they didn't want to kind of throw us in for the whirlwind. So I told them how thankful we are to try to get some things sorted out before that, if things weren't going to work out here. And you know, that's just part of the business, I guess. But yeah, you know, I definitely would like to have like a last, I don't know, hoorah or something, or dinner, or just get together with the guys, because we spent a lot of time together the last 2 years, you know, and you know, I think there's a lot of guys that they have bright futures ahead here, and, you know, I just want to say how thankful I am for them and all their memories that we've built together over this
How
time.
much would you like to think, Sherwood, Kiefer, that the way you play the game as an undrafted and undaunted guy created this basically a bidding war for your services? Can you take something from that? And it seems like you'd be a long-term fit in San Jose for you.
Yeah, I just try to, I always say, but just put my work boots on every day. And, you know, when you're in the minors, I hope that it kind of opens up some pathways for other late blossomers one day, whether it's here or other places, because there's a lot of guys that are good players in the A. They just sometimes need some time to figure it out and some opportunity. And that's what I was so grateful for coming here, is just the opportunity to kind of blossom and be myself. But yeah, looking back, I couldn't have asked for anything more from my experience in Vancouver. Like, I really couldn't have, like, to have the fans be as appreciative as they are and even chant my name is crazy. You know, it's something I still sometimes process and look back on, you know, like, so, yeah, I'm just, I know I'll keep saying it, but I'm just grateful, and hopefully it's a win, you know, it's a win-win for everyone involved. And, yeah, leave the place better than you found it is something that, you know, my parents always try to teach me.
There we go. From the man himself. Let's keep going. Let's hear what Connor Garland had to say. And then I will do my Mitchell sponsor read.
One year you underperform or team's going a different direction, you lose, good players and good guys. So, we've dealt with it in the past. We've had years where we brought guys in as well. So but it's one of those years we're going to see guys go out. Woody's a fun teammate to have. He's a gamer. He's a really good player. He's been awesome for us. So yeah, we'll miss him in the room, and on the ice quite a bit.
What will you miss about him on the ice as
On
a
the
player?
ice? Yeah, it's just his energy, his day-to-day mentality, his practice habits. So he, he's a great pro. Obviously the goals and the hits are what people see, but just his energy on the bench and, when you need life, he brings it. So that's a huge asset.
Some guys are, they come into this league destined to be great. He himself talked about the journey for him. I mean, how much fun has it been to watch him emerge over these last couple of years?
Yeah. I played against him in the minors. I remember, how frustrating it was to play against in the playoffs and just to see his game grow and his offensive abilities. And, he has a growth mindset. So that's kind of most important with guys you see get better each and every year. And I remember him coming in his first couple of weeks talking about, he'd love to expand a little bit of his game, and he has. So, but if you put the work in, you put the time in, which he has, he's been rewarded and, hopefully continues to get rewarded.
The markets from this to what you played in Arizona is so different, and the level of attention stuff. But there were times that the Coyotes would cycle through players, move guys on for younger players or cheaper players. Is there a comparable feeling at all to what's, that uncertainty around here? As
you're talking about time that predates me. When I was there, we actually were adding pieces. We had a Taylor Hall, we had a Derek Stepan, we had a Carl Soderberg. So we were actually a team that, most years was battling with the Canucks and other teams for those last couple spots in the playoffs. So, I miss those days, but I'd say obviously this year feels, a lot different than any other. Or, never been in last place, never been on a losing streak like this. So, it's when you're struggling, teams have to get better in a certain way, and that's when good players move out for.
All right, that was Connor Garland right there. All right, so like I said, a little underwhelmed by the return, but that's okay. Speaking of the return, I have some stats here for Cole Clayton. Can you just bring it up here? 1 second. So there we go. Cole Clayton, as I mentioned before, Canadian, 1 point in his last 10 games. So obviously that doesn't really jump off when you first see that. But again, he is only 25 years old. So perhaps he can develop. Let's also take a look at his stats here. So as you can see there, this year, he's got 5 points in 33 games, 2 goals, 3 assists. He's projected to finish with 10 points in 64 games, 4 goals, 6 assists. So we'll see what he does in the AHL. As was mentioned, he's a journeyman, a defensive journeyman. Played for the Cleveland Monsters for several years, the Medicine Hat Tigers. And just looking back at some former stats, so his first season with the Tigers, he had 7 points in 56 games. Following year, he had 20 points in 68 games with the Tigers. And then he upped that to 30 the following year with 2 goals and 28 assists in 63 games. Then he played 23 games in 2020, 2021, 30 points again, 9 goals, 21 assists. And that was in the WHL. Once he moved up to the AHL, he had 16 points in 55 games in his first season with the Cleveland Monsters, 2 goals, 14 assists, 10 points in 47 games, 4 goals, 6 assists, 20 points in 59 games, 5 goals, 15 assists, and 15 points in 63 games for his last season with the Cleveland Monsters. And then, of course, as we mentioned, 5 points in 33 games with the San Jose Barracuda in the AHL. So, as I mentioned, a little underwhelming on this. Obviously, we talked about Philip Bystead in our previous Sherwood video and how I really wanted them to pull the trigger on that, but perhaps the Sharks were not willing to give him up. That might have been why the Canucks got Clayton instead. But at the same time, I also felt as though they should have gotten a forward in return, a forward prospect, as I feel as though they have enough defensemen, at least for now, at least young defensemen. But again, that's just me. But also, we will see what type of player Cole Clayton is. He could pop off for all we know. And like I said earlier, I'm no scout, I'm no GM. So perhaps this will work out in the end. But again, my initial reaction to this is underwhelming, at least when it comes to the prospect. Absolutely love the picks. I don't think we brought this up. Oh, yeah, we already read that. So that's okay. But that is my instant reaction. I'm going to do my mid-show sponsor read and thank my primary sponsor, none other than DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting or unofficial sports betting partner of the NHL.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Never experienced the jaw-dropping moments that make hockey? Hockey? Well, you can experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through per wager may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025, all rights reserved. My secondary sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine and amazing artwork you see in front of you, and you guys can check them out yourselves at GassyJackArt.com. All right. So now that I've given you my instant reaction to the Sherwood trade, let's talk about Kiefer Sherwood for a little bit. Obviously, signing him, he was a little under the radar. But obviously during that playoff series against the Nashville Predators, you even heard Quinn Hughes even say, he hated playing against him. and he wanted this guy on their team. And then the Canucks went out and signed Sherwood to that 2-year deal in free agency. And instantly, Sherwood became beloved by the fan base, and Sherwood even talked about it when he was speaking. The fans chanting his name, Kiefer, Sherwood, dun 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 dun, Kiefer. Like, this guy became a instant fan favorite. And I will not, and the games that I've gone to, you still heard the chants, the Kiefer Sherwood chants, even at the games that I went to, and it was awesome to hear. And just hearing his comments about the city and how much he loves this organization and how they gave him an opportunity that other teams did not give him in the past, and he was able to grow and show off his offensive skill with the Canucks. And yeah, this sucks, but obviously when you look at it from a business point, the Canucks needed to make this move. They are in a rebuild. Sherwood is turning 30, and we even did a video months ago, and I basically said, I believe Kiefer Sherwood has priced himself out of Vancouver. And we were right, because he was going to cost too much. This was, of course, prior to the whole talk about a rebuild and prior to the start of the season. But I felt back then that Sherwood had priced himself out of Vancouver due to his play. And honestly, the guy's going to get paid in free agency, whether that's with the Sharks on an extension or with another team. The guy's going to get paid, and he's going to be worth every single penny of that contract. If it ends up being San Jose, good on them. They picked up one heck of a player, one heck of a teammate, a guy who's going to help them in their, I guess you could say, the tail end of their retool/rebuild. He's going to help them, and he's going to help a lot of those younger guys, blossom, such as like what Sherwood said in that video. He's going to help them blossom even more. Obviously, it's going to suck when the next time we play against him. I don't know if that'll be next week or next season, but I do know the next time the Sharks play the Canucks and Sherwood is in the lineup, and if it's at home, Canuck fans are going to give him a warm welcome and welcome him back very easily. And, you're going to hear those Kiefer Sherwood chants the next time Sherwood is in Rogers Arena playing against whichever team he ends up signing with. Again, if that's the Sharks, he's going to get a warm reception for sure. I have no doubt about that. You're not going to hear a single boo, I don't think. That's just me. But yeah, obviously it's tough losing a guy like this, but it had to be done. And the Canucks get some very good draft capital in 2 second-round picks. Yes, it's not a first-round pick, but they get 2 seconds. They now have 2 firsts. I want to say 2 seconds. Well, yes, they do have 2 seconds, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Well, they have 2 2026 second-round picks, I believe. Although their original second-round pick for this upcoming draft has changed to a very late first-round pick due to the Ottawa Senators having forfeited their draft pick. So if the Canucks win the lottery, they will be drafting first overall, and they will get the first pick in the first round, as well as the last pick in the first round, if they win the lottery. So that is obviously exciting to hear. Canucks are going to be drafting 4 times in the first 2 rounds of this upcoming draft, something Canucks haven't done in over a decade. So that is exciting. Obviously this is probably not the last move that the Canucks are going to make. There's going to be more trades. Hopefully a Evander Kane trade follows this. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, or if it'll be, soon or maybe closer towards the deadline. If you guys didn't see, we had our Nucks report earlier this morning. We actually talked about in length about an Evander Kane trade and talking about how the LA Kings are kicking tires on Evander Kane. So that could be a potential destination for Evander Kane. But obviously, losing Sherwood is tough. But as I keep saying, it had to happen, and we were all expecting it. I even said, on Saturday that it was going to happen the following day. It ends up happening 2 days later, which is fine. But yeah, we knew it was coming. We kind of were expecting it. But like I mentioned already, a little underwhelmed on the prospect return. Perhaps that might change once I actually see how Clayton plays and whether or not he actually makes it up to the NHL. But I was hoping for, a guy like Bystad or one of the forwards that we talked about in the previous video. But nothing I can do about it. Like I said, I'm no scout or GM. So perhaps, like I keep mentioning, they saw something or see something that I don't. But there you go. This was my somewhat instant reaction to the trade, breaking it down. Kiefer Sherwood traded to the San Jose Sharks. Canucks received Cole Clayton, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2027 second-round pick. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this little spontaneous live reaction. Absolutely loved, hearing from Sherwood himself, as well as, Adam Foote, Connor Garland, and hearing their reactions. But yeah, so Kiefer Sherwood is now a member of the San Jose Sharks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. Feel free to check out our merchandise store. We are currently selling our 1-year anniversary collection as we are rapidly approaching our 1-year anniversary, complete with a redesigned logo both in blue and green, as well as our skate version of the logo. Check it out at thelinechangepodcast.threadless.com. Honestly, that black hoodie with the skate logo looks absolutely fire, as does the white one. So go ahead, check it out. Once again, that is thelinechangepodcast.threadless.com. We do have some sales going on for the anniversary collection, so go ahead and check those out. Also, if you want to have more discussions and conversations such as like this one, when there's like a breaking trade, join our official Discord. There is a link in the description down below. It's completely free to join. Also, you can find us on social media. We're everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, even Blue Sky. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. Also, if you have a favorite episode that you absolutely loved and want to listen to over and over and over again, go ahead and download your favorite episode and any other favorite episodes that you may have. That really helps out the podcast as well, and is, of course, we are very greatly appreciated of it. But that's going to do it for me. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.